Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Glencadam single cask, 20-year-old, vintage 1999 PX sherry butt matured. Dustin, the Glencadam 21.
Yep.
Nice whiskey.
Yep.
Nice whiskey. Nothing I would write home about. This particular one, you picked up this one as well. 20 years old, so basically the same age. This one comes at a 55% ABV, and it's a limited affair of only 667 bottles.
Yep. It's the first cask they've done of PX.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as just a single cask pick or a single cask bottling?
Single cask bottling, yeah. If you actually look on the bottle, it literally says cask reference 1.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the
first cask.
Yeah, December 1999 it was distilled and barreled, bottled in February of 2020. This is a bottle 567.
Yep. Now, as you know, this is a distillery I've just started getting into. I bought a couple bottles to kind of discover it. I'd heard so much good about it. Now, I believe they were also one of these distilleries that had a closed period, and then they reopened.
Okay.
And I believe this is pre-close distillate, which may explain why it's a fairly light color for a PX cask.
Yeah, let's get to that color. That color is silly light. I mean, it is almost like dead grass light.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me bourbon cask, I would believe it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think PX sherry cask at all.
No, not at all. However, on the nose, I definitely get some of that PX sweetness.
Yeah.
Like that sticky sweetness that PX has. And, we've talked about this before. Highland malt is clean and a little dull, in my opinion, often, but, usually brings in lots of nice fruits. And I think we're right there here. It's clean, it's fruity.
It's boring.
Yeah, there's a nice little bit of oak here, and it's kind of a chewy, slightly turning into like just barely a milk chocolate note.
Oh, no, it's a lot of vanilla here too.
There's vanilla, but yeah.
Vanilla cream.
Oh yeah, well yeah, definitely. And there's little light fruits here, but it's nothing jumping out. I think oak, the PX, the slight hint of chocolate are the interesting notes here over a vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, it's oaky, you're right. Oaky, vanilla. It feels dense, feels oily.
Yeah, it's almost like those vanilla Tootsie Rolls. If you ever had those, which were one of my favorites, Mike, growing up.
Yeah, you brought that up a few times. They were disgusting in my opinion, but well, yeah, clean, nice, fresh, maybe pear, along with that vanilla and oak.
Yeah, there's definitely a fruit here. Honestly, it's so non-distinct.
Maybe pear, maybe a light pineapple. Very bright, very summertime whiskey, like the other ones were. But, some people were really pumped about Glencadam. I mean, I thought it was just kind of, the 21-year-old. And this is a little bit more interesting on the nose, but I'm not getting a big change from what I thought about the 21-year-old. What do you think about
Palate's a jump forward. Big jump forward here. So there is a chewiness to it. There's, I'm getting more of that chocolate note, a lot more. The PX is definitely more here. It's coming through. It's making itself noticed. Like, yeah, at first you're like, it's there, but it's barely there. PX came through. It's chewy. It's a little bit of chocolate, but it's that Glencadam malt, just clean, heavy vanilla.
lemon?
There's
Nice
richness.
lemon to it.
You can definitely pick up the age on this one. That's one thing I do appreciate.
This is way oilier than the 21.
Oh yeah.
This is, I mean, you can tell it's got heft to it.
Yeah, it's a nice whiskey to drink because of that heft. Yeah, you're right.
But I will say this, very, very nice summertime whiskey.
Yep. And water actually added a little bit more to it.
It didn't thin it out at all, the experience at all. Like, it still feels heavy and oily on the nose.
There's just more on the nose now with water. I mean, it's richer.
You getting that pear now?
Yeah, but I'm also getting some kind of I'm getting a slightly savory note coming in now. I don't know where it's coming from.
There's honey to this?
Yeah, a lot of honey now.
Lemon.
The oak's still here, but usually that oak comes out more when you add water. The oak actually kind of let the malt come forward here a little bit, and let the sweetness of the cask.
I mean, really, this is kind of like, this is starting to remind me a little bit of the Balvenie 15-year-old single barrel bourbon cask. Like, the longer you let it sit, the more things come up. When we reviewed the Glencadam 21, I believe 2 different commenters said this is a whiskey you really need to let sit in the glass for a long time. And, I would love to do that, but then you got to do like time-lapse videos, things like that, because people want to see you pour the whiskey, I feel.
Yeah. Well, and keep in mind though, guys, when we end these videos, we never finish a glass on camera.
No,
With
no.
the exception of maybe I think one bottle ever, maybe.
Yeah, I have a row of whiskeys down here.
Yeah, so we always go back to these after the time, and if we really come back and say, man, we got to change something,
We'll redo it.
we'll redo it. And we've had maybe one bottle we haven't done that with, which I think was that hedonism
Sure.
that we did. Remember, we came back to that one, we were both shocked. So we do give these time. And I got to say, Mike, water really did something here.
Yeah.
It made the, again, it just added another layer to this whiskey. It actually made the alcohol come out more instead of coming down.
This is the problem with like an aggressive whiskeys. You always say that I tend to favor cask strength whiskeys, and I agree with you in that statement. Now, this is cask strength. This is a high ABV, but this isn't what I would call an aggressive whiskey. But that doesn't mean it isn't dense, it isn't heavy, it isn't oily, it doesn't mean there isn't a lot here.
Yeah.
So this isn't a palate shocker of a whiskey. It's still subtle, fruits, nice. A lot of people would tolerate this type of profile, even at this higher in ABV.
Yeah.
I would say. So, you know, I always feel like I underscore whiskeys like that just because I'm looking for more of a bang.
I say with water though, Mike, I'm telling you, the sherry bite here is
Right?
3 times higher. I mean, it really came back and brought out a lot more aggressiveness and assertiveness. I mean, I'm getting some really good sherry notes now that we've added the water. Really punching the front of the tongue. And it's added a lot of what I was looking for that was missing when we first poured it.
Yeah, you're right. The cask, the PX cask is far more recognizable.
Yes.
With a little bit of water. But it's still heavy, it's still thick. It just added some darkness to the taste.
Yeah.
Nice whiskey, man.
A little bit of bite, a little bit of, I mean, this is really quality whiskey. I'm excited to get you into like the port finish one I've got of these because I think that port cask shines with this Glencadam malt. The PX one though I wanted to get to first because it's the older one. It's the one people, if they're going to be like looking for these, 'cause these are available now, guys. You can still get this. This is not one, we do a lot of videos where you can't get it. This is going to come out and you're going to be able to get this bottle still. And it's a little pricey.
What'd you pay for it?
Upper 2s.
I mean, it's a 20-year-old whiskey. It's cask strength. That's still worth the price.
No, I think it is. I think this is still worth it. It's not a deal.
All right, so where are you at as far as whiskey score on this one?
I'm going to go to an 80. I want to do a 0.5, but I'm going to stake 86 on this one. I was really close to an 87.
I already had my decision made up before you even said that, but I'm at an 87 because I think it's at least a point higher than the Lagavulin 118 we tried. This is a really nice whiskey. And for me to say Glencadam is better than the Lagavulin 118.
Yeah. So how about
Strong
this? How
statement.
about Cragganmore 20 versus this?
Cragganmore 20.
Yeah, see, I think this one, I'm going to go 87 because I gave the Cragganmore an 86. And this, and I was close to an 87. Yep, I'm going 87 because
they're
this
both
is
good.
just better than the Cragganmore. And I think that earns it the extra point.
Yeah, so Glencadam, Highland Distillery.
Yeah.
Ones we'll bring you more of. We're just kind of getting into it. So, we'll have, that's the nice thing when you have two people that have a nice whiskey collection. We'll go back to this years from now.
Yeah, this thing's not going anywhere. I mean,
Or we'll compare to a Glencadam lineup at some point.
because as you know, I'll go down to about here on every whiskey I get within the first week,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of forget about it for 6 months.
Buried in the closet.
And then unless it's one of those whiskeys where I still know, like I haven't figured it out, then I kind of sometimes I keep going back. That's the ones that get really low before we review them. Are the ones where I just kept going. There's something here. I'm gonna find it.
All right, so that's where we are as far as the whiskey score. If you guys had a chance to pick up the one rare bottle, again, only 667 bottles made. But if you guys had a chance to pick this one up, let us know what you guys think in the comment section. And Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking.
We'll see you next time.